Hello everyone, welcome back. So far, we have discussed the majority of CT scan brain anatomy, and now we are near to the end of this series. My name is Dr. Talha, and in this chapter, we will discuss the skull base anatomy on bone window of axial CT scan brain. As we have discussed it earlier, skull base is divided into three fossas: anterior, middle, and posterior cranial fossa. Lesser wing of sphenoid separates the anterior and middle fossa. Frontal lobe lies in anterior fossa while temporal lobe lies in middle fossa. Posterior fossa is separated by middle fossa by petrous part of the temporal bone, and it contains the brainstem and the cerebellum. In the skull base, numerous foramina are present that transmit cranial nerves, vessels, and other structures. These foramina can be visualized on axial slices of CT brain. Skull base has very important structures and usually they are visible on a CT scan. But for this series, we will only discuss the ones that are clinically relevant to us. As you all know that anterior fossa contains three foramina. This here is the cribriform plate which contains cribriform foramina and it transmits the axons of the olfactory nerve. Middle fossa is very important as many of these skull base foramina lie in this territory and they transmit many important structures. This is the right optic canal that transmits optic nerve and the ophthalmic arteries. This here is the superior orbital fissure. It is very important aperture in the skull base as it transmits ophthalmic veins, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, abducent nerve, and the first branch of trigeminal nerve, the ophthalmic nerve. This here is another groove. It carries the clinoid segment of the internal carotid artery. Here you can see the foramen rotundum. It transmits maxillary nerve, which is the second branch of trigeminal nerve. This foramina here is the foramen ovale, which transmits the mandibular nerve, aka the third branch of trigeminal nerve. It also transmits accessory meningeal artery. This foramina here is the foramen spinosum. It transmits middle meningeal artery and veins. This here is the foramen lacerum, and it transmits deep petrosal nerve and some meningeal arterial branches and small veins. These were the important foramina of middle cranial fossa. Now moving to the posterior fossa, this is the hypoglossal canal and it transmits the 12th cranial nerve, which is also known as hypoglossal nerve. This is the jugular foramen. It transmits cranial nerve 9, 10 and 11 along with the internal jugular vein. Inferior petrosal sinus and the sigmoid sinus also lie in this foramina. This here is the foramen magnum and it transmits medulla and meninges. Vertebral arteries, spinal accessory nerves, dural veins, anterior and posterior spinal arteries are also transmitted by this foramina. So these were the main apertures or foramina lying in the anterior, middle and posterior cranial fossa. There are some other important structures in the skull base. Let's take a quick review of these structures as well. If you are tired, you can take a break and come back after 5 minutes to resume this video. These are the occipital condyles. This is basion, the midpoint of anterior margin of the foramen magnum. This here is the zygomatic process of the temporal bone, and just below it you can see the mandibular condyles. This is the greater wing of sphenoid, and this broad portion is the clivus, which is part of occipital bone at the base of the skull. This here is the inferior orbital fissure. It allows the passage of infraorbital nerve, artery and vein, inferior ophthalmic vein and zygomatic nerve. This is the carotid canal and it provides passage to the internal carotid artery, its venous plexus and the sympathetic plexus. It lies anterior to the jugular foramen. This is the carotid canal opening into middle cranial fossa superior to the foramen lacerum. Here you can see the foramen lacerum. This here is the eustachian tube. This is the opistheon and it is the posterior margin of foramen magnum. So what was the anterior margin called? If you said basion, you are absolutely right. This black part here is the external auditory canal and this depression here is the sella turcica, also known as the pituitary fossa. And just superomedial to it lies the groove for the clinoid segment of internal carotid artery. Here you can see it more clearly. It is a very important landmark and lateral limit while performing endonasal transsphenoidal pituitary surgery. You can well imagine the consequences if internal carotid artery is damaged here. And just above this groove lies the optic canal. This is the lesser wing of sphenoid that separates anterior and middle fossa. This is the tuberculum celli which forms the anterior wall of the sella turcica. This here is the internal auditory canal. Here you can see the tentorium cerebelli that separates the posterior fossa structures. These are the mastoid hair cells that we discussed in the previous chapter. So these were all important structures of the skull base. Each of them has anatomical and clinical importance. And if you are a neurosurgery resident, you can very well imagine the importance of these structures. I intentionally did not discuss the structures that are not clinically relevant. Still, if you have any queries, you can ask in the comment section. With this video, the CT brain anatomy is almost complete. In the upcoming videos, I will try to discuss some common pathologies that can be identified on a CT scan. If you are a medical student or an intern, whether you are doing your residency or post-graduation in any field, if you find this CT scan series helpful, kindly share it with your colleagues as well. Thank you so much.